Comic book movies are in a bad place right now. This just churning out mediocre content over and over again like Marvel and DC have been doing, that's not going to fly anymore. These movies need to be special every time they come out now because you're seeing the results of just putting out mediocre stuff over and over again now. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did not make $500 million. It's going to limp to $500 million if it even makes it. I don't think that it will because there's just too many movies taking up screens now, and there's not enough demand for that movie. Don't forget John Wick comes out this week, pushing that even further out of movie theaters. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp, if it's not already out of a theater, it will be this weekend. As soon as John Wick comes out, I'm pretty sure John Wick comes out this weekend, which is also going to hurt Shazam. Shazam's going to be put on less screens now, and this is bad for Shazam because, well, it flopped big time. Shazam Fury of the Gods opened this weekend, earning less money than Morbius. Shazam, $30.5 million. Morbius, $39 million. Pretty disastrous result. And I'm sure you remember Morbius. Morbius was a disaster at theaters. A movie that should have never been made. Sony flips through some obscure Spider-Man comic and finds a character that and this isn't Morbius. Morbius is still around, been around for a long time. But for example, Sony is making a Spider-Man movie based on Hypno Hustler. He's like a one-off villain. He's in like 2, maybe 3 Spectacular Spider-Man comics back in the 70s. I don't even think he's been in an Amazing Spider-Man book. He's been in Spectacular Spider-Man. And Sony's going to make a movie on this character. Get ready for the same results. I don't understand why these companies don't realize you can't do this shit anymore. The time to do this was 10 years ago. Okay, this isn't the same playing field. People are tired of shit. Now, I'm not even trashing Shazam Fury of the Gods. I actually hear it's an okay movie. I don't hear that it's bad. I hear it's okay. That it's serviceable. Not as good as the first, but not awful. And honestly, that's not enough to get me to go see it. There are some good criticisms that you can put out on this movie. One, that Zachary Levi's version of playing a kid, he's much more immature in the Shazam form than he is like as a kid. Like the actor that plays the kid is nowhere near as goofy as Zachary Levi. So it doesn't make sense, but you can overlook it. It's not like this is supposed to be some Oscar-winning film. So it didn't bother me too much in the first one. I hear it's worse in this film, though. But that's just what I've heard. I haven't seen it. I do like Mary Marvel's costume. Just saying. She looks great. But regardless, this movie, globally, this is actually, I believe this is the total box office. So this movie made $66 million. That's it. I want you to think about that. That is a bad number. That is shit. This movie probably needs to make $500 million. Well, maybe let's be generous and say $400 million. Not going to make it. Might not even make $200 million now. So we'll see. John Wick's rated R, I believe, right? Isn't John Wick rated R? So though it doesn't stop anybody from seeing the movie, that does keep some people out. So, I don't know. I don't know if this movie hits $200 million. This is bad. This is also going to depend on word of mouth now to keep going, and I don't think that it's going to go that far because not a lot of people saw it. Shazam Fury of the Gods doesn't fly with moviegoers at 30 million opening. Here's why Sunday box office. So here's the write-up. Let's take a look at this. When New Line's DC Shazam Fury of the Gods hit tracking 4 weeks ago with a low 35 million projection, it was shocking and not shocking to rival distributors. Shocking because a spring full of franchise tentpoles, many of which are seeing record opening domestic highs. How can a DC property like Shazam not keep up with the pack? Not shocking in that, well, it's a goofy old Shazam. Now, while it's possible for a movie to start low in its projections on tracking and swell as the studio spends the bulk of its picks P&A in the final lap before its opening, the outlook on Shazam Fury of the Gods didn't budge. And now the David F. Sandberg directed sequel produced by Warner Brothers' newly installed DC co-head Peter Safran is looking at a 30.5 million start in U.S. and Canada as of Sunday a.m., off 43% from the first 2019 movie's 53.5 million opening. This sequel also missed its 85 million global opening projections with 65.5 million. That is awful. Awful. So you've got this movie not doing very well. And, you know, it's funny because the scores for the movie here, when you take a look at it, aren't that bad. It's not like people are coming out and really pounding this movie. The problem is the movie is mediocre. Okay, it's mediocre. That's the problem. The problem with this movie is that no one wants to go see a mediocre movie anymore. These movies need to be the best that they can be. And when you're just churning out mediocre shit after mediocre shit, it turns people off to going. A lot of people are looking at this, well, I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming. Also, don't forget, there's the fact that this movie doesn't matter in the overall story of the DC universe anymore, because it all reboots in 2 more movies. You have Aquaman, which, oh man, that's going to be a shit show. I can't wait for that movie to come out. Oh, that's going to be fun. And then Flashpoint. I don't remember if Blue Beetle comes out before or after Flashpoint, but that's where we're at. You know, like, what's the point of seeing Aquaman or even Flashpoint, because everything reboots after? It's not really a point. Their biggest draw for this movie was the cameo of Wonder Woman, which no one cares about because of the fact that she's getting rebooted too. So, you know, funny shit, man. This is bad. This is bad for Warner Brothers. Creed's still doing well. Creed's at like 200 million. I think that movie's probably already made money. I can't imagine Creed having a huge budget. It's about 2 guys boxing. You know, it's like, it's a bunch of CGI in that movie. So, look at Avatar still making money. It's insane to me. So, yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, look at that. 4 million. That movie's not going to hit 500 million. That's not going to happen. Sad, pathetic. Disney's in so much shit right now. So, that's where we're at. Another flop. And you have to wonder, is the superhero genre over? I think it's a legitimate question at this point. It's really going to depend on what that Guardians of the Galaxy box office is. I think that movie's going to do well, but you never know. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here. I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.